On August 15, 1977, at 11:16 p.m., something happened that would change one man's life forever. Dr. Jerry Emmon, a volunteer researcher at Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope, was reviewing computer printouts of radio signals from space. It was routine work scanning endless streams of numbers, looking for anything unusual in the cosmic static. Then he saw it. 6 characters that made his hand freeze. 6EQUJ5. The signal was so powerful, so unusual, so perfectly matching what scientists predicted an alien transmission would look like, that Dr. Emmon grabbed a red pen and circled it. Next to it, he scrawled a single word that would become legendary. Wow! What he had just discovered would become the most compelling evidence we've ever found that we might not be alone in the universe. And then, just as mysteriously as it appeared, it vanished forever. This is the story of the WOW signal. To understand why this signal is so extraordinary, we need to talk about what the Big Ear Radio Telescope was actually doing. In the 1970s, scientists began a revolutionary project called SETITHA, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The idea was simple but profound. If intelligent aliens exist, they might be broadcasting radio signals into space. And if we listened carefully enough, we might hear them. The Big Ear was a massive radio telescope in Delaware, Ohio, about the size of 3 football fields. It listened to the universe 24/7, searching for anything that stood out from the background noise. Now here's the crucial part. Space is naturally noisy. Stars, galaxies, and gas clouds all emit radio waves randomly, like static on an old TV. But intelligent signals would be different. They would be narrow, focused, and strong, like a laser pointer in a fog. On that August night, the Big Ear detected exactly that. The signal was received on a frequency of 1420 MHz. Here's why that number matters. 1420 MHz is the frequency of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Scientists had theorized for years that if aliens wanted to get our attention, they would broadcast on this hydrogen line because any advanced civilization would know about it. It's like a universal channel, the cosmic equivalent of Channel 1. The signal lasted for exactly 72 seconds, the maximum amount of time the Big Ear could observe any single point in the sky before Earth's rotation moved it out of view. It was 30 times stronger than the background noise of space. The intensity arose and fell in a perfect bell curve, exactly what you'd expect from a signal coming from a fixed point in space as Earth rotated. Everything about it screamed artificial origin. The signal came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, from an empty patch of sky with no known stars or planets, or so we thought. The moment scientists realized what they might have found, the obvious next step was to look again. If this was an alien civilization, surely they would transmit more than once, right? Maybe it was a beacon, pulsing out regularly. So they pointed the telescope back at that exact spot in the sky. They listened the next night, and the night after, nothing. Over the next few months, the Big Ear scanned that region over 50 times. Silence. Other observatories around the world joined the search. The Very Large Array in New Mexico, one of the most powerful radio telescopes on Earth, aimed its dishes at those coordinates. Nothing. The search continued for years, for decades even. Multiple facilities, multiple telescopes, thousands of hours of observation. The signal never returned. This is what makes the WOW signal so frustrating and so fascinating. It's as if someone shouted into the darkness of space. We heard it clearly, and when we shouted back, they were gone. So what was it? In the nearly 50 years since, scientists have proposed dozens of explanations. Theory 1. It was aliens. This is the explanation that captured the public imagination. The signal matches every prediction for an alien transmission: the frequency, the strength, the duration. Some researchers believe it could have been a brief, powerful transmission from a beacon that sweeps across the galaxy like a lighthouse. We just happened to be looking at the right place at the right moment. Theory 2. Earth-based interference. Could it have been a satellite or an airplane? The problem is, the Big Ear had 2 receivers to filter out Earth-based signals, and any local signal would show up in both. The WOW signal only appeared in one. This strongly suggests it came from deep space. Theory 3. A comet. In 2017, an astronomer proposed that the signal came from a comet's hydrogen cloud. However, many scientists challenged this. The signal was too strong and too focused to come from a diffuse cloud, and the specific comet he identified wasn't in the right position at the time. Theory 4. A natural cosmic phenomenon. Perhaps a distant neutron star or magnetar had a brief outburst. The problem is, these objects typically emit radiation across many frequencies, not just one narrow band like the WOW signal, and they're usually repeated events. Theory 5. We're looking in the wrong place. Here's a mind-bending possibility. What if the signal was real, but our coordinates are slightly off? In the 1970s, we didn't have precise GPS. If we've been looking at the wrong patch of sky for nearly 50 years, the source could still be out there, broadcasting away. The WOW signal forces us to confront some profound questions. Consider the timing. We had only been searching for alien signals for about 15 years when we detected it. The odds of finding something so quickly are astronomical, unless the universe is teeming with intelligent life. Then there's the distance. The signal came from the direction of Sagittarius. If the source was, say, 100 light-years away, that means the signal was transmitted in 1877 when humans were still using telegraphs. By the time we received it, whoever sent it might not even exist anymore. And here's the really unsettling part. What if they heard us? Earth has been leaking radio signals into space since the 1930s. What if the WOW signal wasn't random? What if an alien civilization detected our earliest radio transmissions and sent a brief, powerful message back saying, essentially, we hear you, you're not alone. And we're still too primitive to send a proper response. Today, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is more sophisticated than ever. Projects like Breakthrough Listen use telescopes 1,000 times more sensitive than the Big Ear. They scan millions of stars across billions of radio frequencies, often pointing back toward the WOW signal coordinates, hoping for a repeat. But space is incomprehensibly vast. We've barely scratched the surface. The Big Ear observed that patch of sky for just 72 seconds in 1977. We have no idea what happened before or after. Dr. Jerry Emin, the man who discovered the signal, remained cautiously skeptical throughout his life. He passed away in 2022, never knowing for certain what he had found. He said the signal was the most interesting thing he'd ever seen, but he couldn't conclusively prove it was extraterrestrial. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and one detection, no matter how compelling, isn't enough. But he never stopped wondering. The WOW signal remains one of the greatest mysteries in the history of science. It could have been a glitch, a comet, an unknown natural phenomenon, or the most important discovery in human history. For 72 seconds on an August night in 1977, something spoke from the depths of space. We heard it clearly. And then, silence. The question isn't just what it was. The question is, will we ever hear it again? And perhaps more importantly, what will we do if we do? What do you think the WOW signal was? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by space mysteries, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more mind-bending content. Thanks for watching.